Lately, I've been seeing people blame everybody but themselves for choices they made on their own. Then turn around and attack the very thing that gave them a shot in the first place. I'm just gonna say, around here we don't play that game. We do the work. And today, I want to tell you why I feel so loyal to this platform, being YouTube. Not because it's perfect, but because it gave somebody like me a chance when I didn't earn it. Now, before we continue this, I'm just going to take this conversation in the house because it's much too windy out here right now, and I don't think we should be standing in the woods. So let's take this inside real quick. All right, that's better now that we're out of the wind. So first of all, I just want to say that my wife and I, we base a lot of stock in loyalty. And YouTube has a big presence in our life. So when I seen somebody celebrating a legal victory against the very people that offer us this opportunity, I took it personal. Not just because they're attacking the platform that we're trying to build a business on, but because they also use something as serious as addiction. My opinion is something completely different. So I'm just going to back this up just a little bit and share with you the journey that my wife and I have taken since we started YouTube. We didn't start on YouTube. We started watching YouTube. Way back in the day, my wife and I, we were introduced to YouTube and didn't really know how to navigate it. So it took us a while, but after we figured it out, we realized that we were sitting on a goldmine of information. And we couldn't deny that the things that we always wanted to do were now almost possible for us. And we started a 6-figure business. 2 of us. No great education, no great skill or stock in this business. It was painting and construction. I had a little bit of construction experience, but being a painter is not the same as being a painting business, right? We can all dunk a brush and scrape it on the wall and say we're a painter, but make money at it, and that's something different. And YouTube gave us an opportunity to be exposed to channels like The Idaho Painter, which was huge for us because you don't learn how to paint, you learn how to make money at painting, which is exactly what we were able to do. And I'm just going to share a little bit with you. I don't have a big education. As a matter of fact, I have a GED because I dropped out of high school, and I was still able to create a 6-figure business based on a platform that allowed somebody else to share their experience with me. And if I didn't have that available to me, maybe I could have done it, but almost certainly it added an advantage on my behalf. So I'll always be grateful for the opportunities that I had based on other people sharing their experiences. It was amazing. And we didn't stop with that. I mean, the 6-figure business, it's awesome, right? But we have like family experiences, right? I remember this time that my wife and I, we were sitting here watching YouTube with Dad. And Dad was once in the Army. And he shared some stories with us about this barracks that he was at, or this base that he was stationed at in Germany, where I was born. It was called Wiley Barracks or something like that. And he tried to tell us some of the things that he remembered. I was able to go to YouTube, search that out, and found somebody that actually recorded this place and shared it on YouTube. And we were able to share a moment that is not too long ago. It was not even possible. Maybe some pictures, yeah, maybe some old film style, but to be able to walk down the roads that my dad walked down when he was enlisted and based in Germany, where he met my mom and made me. Yeah, so it was very special to be able to share that. And my wife and I, we did a lot of adventuring on YouTube because we can't go to like Australia and find out that we don't want to go there because everything wants to eat you, unless we were able to like experience that through somebody else's lens, because somebody else was able to share that. It gave us opportunities, and we went traveling everywhere. As a matter of fact, those travels combined with the business that we created on YouTube led us to the exact place that we are today. And that's just the truth of it. And it doesn't even end there. Like, every time we find something new, It gives us an opportunity to get excited about it because we could share it with our friends and our family. I'm like, hey, go check out Davey 504. He plays bass and he's so funny. It's things like that. And then we can like connect with those types of experiences even though we're so far away. Right? Not to mention we were able to start a YouTube channel and now my family can hang out with us every time we post a video. It's amazing. Right? And I know it has its downfalls. I'm not banking right now, baby. I had to create a business that made me my 6 figures. Now I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm not making any money at this. Barely. One time I made a little over 20 grand in a year on YouTube making videos and doing reviews. So there's no great wealth in there for me, but there's an opportunity that I never ever had before. And I certainly didn't earn, right? I didn't do anything to deserve this chance. This platform said, figure out how to put a video together, no matter how crappy it is, as long as you follow these guidelines, which we're obligated to follow ourselves, we're going to let you put that on YouTube. Bama-lama. Now you're in the video making business, right? And we were terrible. We didn't earn YouTube a bunch of stuff, yet they still consistently allowed us to build a channel. And when we found ourselves in a position where we could no longer continue that same status, we switched it. We never called YouTube. I didn't send them an email and say, hey, thanks for figuring out where to place our videos, but we're going to switch because I have health issues now and financial issues. I can't continue this. We just want to talk now. YouTube said, hey, that's fine. Here's how to do it. Follow these directions and we'll navigate together to get there. I didn't earn that, right? This is somebody else's investments and it's available to me. And I'm not stupid. I know they make money, right? Of course they do. Of course they make money. That's what it's about. It's what we're trying to do. It's what you're trying to do. It's like a goal in life for people. The more you can make, the more you can make. Not everybody needs as much, but everybody needs some. And that's just the truth of it. So being able to share those experiences is something that is like magical to us. And once again, like I said, I don't really feel like we earned it, right? It's not like I had to like get educated to be able to get into this. It's just available for anybody. And go try to find a job elsewhere that offers that to you. It ain't going to happen. Or try to be the burger guy. And then the next day be the fry guy. McDonald's is going to tell you the burger guy. If you don't like it, go to Burger King. Whatever. But you're the burger guy here, and that's it. YouTube's not like that, right? People have opportunities today that they never had before. And then, of course, I can't like overlook the fact that most of our build on this house has been learned through experiences of other people on YouTube. The block walls, we learned how to do the plumbing, the electrical. I already had experience with roofing, but I did need some brush up information, and we were able to retrieve all of that. And I've never had to hunt down somebody and say, how much experience do you have? Will you share your story with me and maybe show me? No. There's a shortcut today. We don't have to have 30 years of experience ourselves, or bother somebody that maybe you can find that has 30 years of experience, because there's almost certainly somebody on YouTube that has 30 years of experience and they're going to share it with you like the Idaho painter made us a business. You'll never see this, but we dig it. And it was all because people were able to share something that before this wasn't even possible. At least in my lifetime, I was able to see not possible to possible. I know some people have been growing up in this age, right? And that's all they know. But we know something different. Most of us do. So being able to do things like build your dream house starts to become more possible. I'm not talking about somebody else building our dream house. talking about we're building our dream house. And that's something that's special. And it's a memory that we would have never ever been able to make otherwise. And now I'm going to discuss a little bit about what I seen on, I don't know if it was on YouTube, on TV, what it was, probably YouTube, right? I seen some woman celebrating a multi-million-dollar lawsuit that she won, claiming that she was addicted. And these platforms created that situation for her. Now, first of all, I just want to say, you made me fat. Now, first of all, I just want to say, you made me fat. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? That's right, it's a golden spoon, baby. We found it at Goodwill, right? It made me fat. Now, we all know that's not true. Now, I've personally seen what happens when people lose themselves to addiction. It's easy to start blaming the world for all of our problems. That's usually the first scapegoat. It's somebody else. But the only way to ever get through all of that is to take a look at yourself in the mirror, because it's the choices that we make that get us to where we are. And when I see somebody using, say, addiction as an excuse to usher in censoring and all types of other things, or just a free ticket, it really does bother me, because addiction is serious. And it should never ever be allowed to be diluted with things like that, because there's help available for people, and you choose what you choose, right? You don't get to say it's Jack Daniel's fault that you're an alcoholic. I don't get to say it's Ben and Jerry's and my spoon's fault because I'm overweight. There's no accountability there. And that's a huge missing part anymore. It seems like today, a lot of people, industries, people, the whole thing, they're quick to blame somebody else, and then nothing ever gets resolved. And I'm guilty of that too. As a matter of fact, I worked very hard in my life to be able to identify when I'm doing that. Because the fact of the matter is, the more I blame somebody else, the longer it takes for me to figure out what's actually going on and make those adjustments, right? So, people blaming everybody else is the problem. I don't know, that lady's not going to see this. And if she does, shame on her for being on YouTube. You feel me? Because it's just a meal ticket for her. But there's people that work desperately hard every single day to create that content. And it comes down to it's our responsibility to make sure that what we're creating is worthy, right? And safe. And if it's not, you already know, right? But if you choose to keep consuming, and you have the ripple effect that you can guarantee is going to happen with anything you overconsume, there will be some sort of a ripple effect, and you blame everybody else. You don't care about anybody else, my opinion, right? You're taken away from everybody else. And I mean, you're not taken away from me. I'm not making it anyways. But I want to, right? And I don't want to lose my chance because of greed. There was a time somebody sued McDonald's because their hot coffee burnt them. It's been going on forever. We all know these types of things. These people, you either scamming or you blaming. But no matter what, it ain't real. It ain't real. But it costs, and that's real. It hurts, and that's true. Those people, millions is just a drop in the bucket for them. But for us, it's everything. Everything that is done has a reaction. And when we all start to suffer because of this kind of stuff all the time, I can't help but point the finger at you, which is exactly what I'm trying to discourage from, but it happens. So anyways, I don't want to keep running down this be an upset road because I just really wanted to convey to you how big YouTube has become for us. And it's not like we're using it like a crutch or an addiction. It's a legitimate opportunity for people. And anybody that's brave enough to take it, not just consume it, it's available for you. And if all you want to do is consume it, that's fine too. We've actually made meaningful relationships from this that otherwise would have never happened. Our paths would have never crossed. So with everything, there is a such thing as too much. But there's a balance. And when we find that balance, we can find the magic within it, right? And the opportunities, the open doors. We're not looking for the free ride. It's probably what that person was looking for anyways, but that's not what we're looking for, right? So I just felt like I wanted to share that because I was a little bit on fire about it this morning. I want you to holler down below. Let me know. What do you think? Do you think YouTube is to blame for that woman's addiction to shorts and things like that? Do we get to blame everybody else for all of our issues, our choices? Because if we're allowed, I just don't understand it. But I see that it works for some, yeah? All right, then. I'm just going to end this one right here, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with us. If you enjoy this content, give me a thumbs up. Yeah? Hit that notification bell. Share this video. It's okay. You could be a little bit controversial with me. I'm all right with that. My perspective is only my perspective. Subscribe right now. Let me know where you're from. We'd like to know where our people are at. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. And peace.
Kitchen table dreams scribbled in the sink. Bills piled high, but the faith ran deeper. She was the dreamer, he the believer.